There can be only one podcast, and may it be the Princess of the Universe. Hi, folks. I'm Matt.
And I'm Wes.
We were talking video games prior to the podcast here. You have a 1-up machine, right?
Yes,
or
I have the
arcade
Midway Legacy with 12 games.
Tell us about this. What 12 games?
It has Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3,
Oh.
Joust, Rampage.
Never played Joust back in the day. Never played
Well-
that one. Rampage I remember, but I don't think I ever played. I never played that one. I remember it.
It's weird. I didn't remember it did not have music. And when you play a video game without music,
It didn't have music?
it's odd.
Oh,
it has
wow.
sound effects, but it doesn't have music.
Well, I remember at the arcade there was a Rampage, but I never it never got my quarters.
Yeah.
My quarters. What arcade game did you sink your quarters into the most? What took most of your money as a kid? Because I know mine by far. I don't even know what second place could be, but I know what first place was for me.
I liked the game. It was like a 2-player game called Akari Warriors. It was out
Oh my
in
gosh.
2007.
Holy cow.
Like, it was I think it was before Contra.
Wow.
And it was just like a slot machine for me. Like I got
He had that
38
cup of
seconds
quarters
on there,
sitting there.
boom, and it was over. And you're like, oh. So yeah, that was something that I really liked when I was a kid.
For me, it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, the 4-player one.
Well, I had that on my Raspberry.
I lived. Well, I used to have the Xbox game, Turtles 2
Time.
Battle Nexus. No. This is on Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Turtles 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus. If you could unlock the original arcade game, and that's
yeah, I
the
remember
only
that.
reason I bought that game when I saw that, because it said it on the cover. I was like, well, I'm buying that. I actually enjoyed the whole game. Because I got to where I finally unlocked the arcade.
Yeah.
I was like, great. And then started playing the arcade. Well, arcade's kind of,
You play through it.
You play through it and that's it. And I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go back and finish that regular game because I had a bunch of fun with that game. And that was a really fun game as is. But the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade, I mean, $10 in one sitting, and there were several sittings involved. I would ask when I was mowing yards or doing things if they could pay me in quarters. I mean, you talk about being an addict, an arcade addict. Can you pay me in quarters? You know, scratching my neck. I need quarters, please. And then I'd beg my mom every day, can we go to the bank and get this into quarters? Like this $5 bill is nothing to me. It means nothing to me unless it's converted into quarters. You know, I had to have change, and you'd go up in there, and I'd have my pockets full of quarters, and you'd go right up to there, and you go, okay. And it was the arcade was at not Bayou Bowl, it was at the skate rink. That's where it was. Skate Town, yeah. And when we go to Skate Town, Mom would pay for the skates. I wasn't going to skate. She made us skate for about 30 minutes or whatnot, and then we could play the stupid game for the rest of the day because she knew that's what we wanted to do. That's always. So you'd be skating, you'd be looking at the turtle thing, and I gotta skate around again. Oh, you're skating in circles. What was the big? To me, Skate Town. No, you just go around in circles. What are you supposed to be? Skating to the music.
Quite at the point that some boys do.
Okay, well. No, but I discovered that game. That's the only reason I wanted to go to Skate Town was for that arcade game. So.
Yeah, it was different for me.
You went to Skate Town for the chicks.
I did, and then I realized how awkwardly I was not good at skating. So there went my chance.
Oh, you remember when they do the races? They'd break for races and everything?
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I could do, I wouldn't ever race because I knew I was pathetic on turns, but I would do the scooter race. I could ball up on a little ball and turn my skates, and someone pushed me.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy of mine who was a decent skater, and we usually won. So the scooter race, when they did that one, champs. And you get like a little toy trinket, you know.
From the pro shop.
Yeah. Dang, you remember this.
I worked at Skate Town in the
No!
90s. Actually.
No, did you?
I did. My really good friend was a DJ there at the Monroe Skate Town. And
man, the DJ had the tower, right?
Right, yeah. He sat on the...
He sat above all like an overlord.
Yeah, and...
holy crow.
They needed somebody to work the door, and this is when I worked in the bar business. So I would work there and then go to the bar. So
Wow.
I was working 3 jobs for a little while. Hustle and flow.
Is this
back
before
then.
you were working at the mall?
No, I was working at the mall. I was managing
Shut
the store Vitamin World.
Oh,
after.
wow. No, I remember this. Yeah.
So I did that on Friday and Saturdays, and I worked the bar Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Man, oh, man. I remember that. I remember DJ had his own master, but he was king of the...
Yeah, Flip
king of the
was the
skaters.
man. He would always have kids. They would bang on the glass and ask him questions to play songs, and he was always say, "What? I can't hear you. What?" And it's funny now because we're all wearing masks and we can't understand what anybody says. But he would lean against the glass and they would bang, bang, bang.
Play
And they would
Michael
bring in, They
Jackson.
would bring in like their CDs, and they're like, "Play my bass CD," and he's like, "I'm not playing your bass CD." And another joke too, since we're about to jump into Super Friends and get on the topic.
Yeah.
My buddy Flip mastered the voice from Super Friends. Meanwhile, at the...
No.
Yeah, that was his voice. It was like, couples skate only couples on the floor. That was his thing, and he borrowed that from the Super Friends.
No way.
So I've looped this in. I've got us back on track. We're
Wow.
We're
going into season 7 now.
Right. Enough talk.
Season 7, this is where they were changing their game, but not their artwork. But it was the challenge of the Super Friends. It was a little bit more pizzazzy. They started tying this into their new toy line, Kenner's new upcoming toy line. You could tell that.
Superpowers.
Yeah, the Superpowers toy line. They'd have different villains. By the way, Mixelplick starts off the season with an episode where they go into the 5th dimension, and it doesn't matter if he says his name backwards, but if he says his name forwards, they get to go back to the Earth. And nice flip on the regular story there. And it's it's a fun series.
Somebody loved Mixelplick there.
Someone loved Mixelplick for sure. It also starts off, and let me make sure, what was the other one? Oh, this is the one where they're bringing in a lot more of the Hawkman's getting more. Hawkwoman was in this a lot, and I didn't realize. I'd totally forgotten she was in this, and they don't have much to do because it's Hawkman, Hawkwoman. But Green Lantern comes back, he's back in, Flash back in, everyone, all the regular superheroes that you remember from the Justice League, the old school from season 3, get a little bit more screen time here, and then so does the Legion of Doom. In fact, you have Gorilla Grodd and Giganta are coming back. So some of the one-off characters that you didn't see previously, they picked their favorites, and like you said, they're looking at that poster going, who haven't we talked about for 7 minutes? Oh, let's get this guy here.
Sure.
And bringing it in. And they're punching up the action a lot more. I know we talked about this when we talked about season 2. The word went down. I was like, hey, you need some more action going on in these episodes. Well, man, they cranked it up starting in this season. They really started giving you that action because, of course, Batman has, you squeeze his legs and he punches. Which, by the way, those that Superpowers line is my favorite toy line.
It's
from back in the day.
Good toys.
I mean,
good packaging. Their
great pack.
colors,
Yeah.
That blue and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
They nailed it.
Mm-hmm. And then you got your little artwork
Kind
of
of like your Kid Video shirt with your primary colors.
That's right.
Wearing.
There you go. Got my Kid Video wearing this because we're talking about old school stuff. But yeah, no, they did. You had Lex Luthor, Solomon Grundy. Your man comes back. And it comes back, but that's the thing. They didn't have some of these people in the season before. They had the star, Lex Luthor, Bizarro, some of those, but the Chitara, Solomon Grundy's, Gorilla Grog, and stuff.
Tier.
Gigantic. Then they finally get their own little,
like the second tier heroes.
Yeah, second tier heroes coming back. So it's like, hey, let's bring back some of the Legion of Doom characters just as one-offs, which I think is fine.
So much with Aquaman. We've got to spread this around.
And to be honest, Aquaman, now that you mention it, Aquaman usually gets a lot of love in the first 2 or 3 seasons because they always make sure there's a water adventure or water quest for him to do while the Super Friends do something else. And now they're like, it's okay to let Aquaman do nothing. And that's where they kind of got, and I think this is where the whole joke came in from, you see people joke about Aquaman not being able to do anything.
Right.
Well, that's because in this series, he's really, not always useless, but most of the time he's running on land with the rest of them.
Yeah, you've got to really ride him in.
Yeah, and they didn't say, well, he's still part of the Justice League, so let's just have him over to the side. But we're not going to give him special attention to have his own little side water quest, which is good for them. Good for them. I don't think we should have him in there. And then I was mistaken because I said it was in the past season, but this is, as I'm reading this, I'm looking through the titles here. Return of the Phantoms, the Phantom Zone villains, Logar, Hoy, and Rumlock are freed from the Phantom Zone. They try to get Superman.
That was a teaser from the previous episode.
And that was maybe so. And that was what brought the Superman 2 storyline in. So they'd have stuff like that in there too. They had, I think this is and I can't find the name of it here, but I know there's an Aquaman episode where an oil slick, comes to life. Remember this, the sludge? And I don't know what the purpose was, but Hawkman and I love this because Hawkman and Hawkgirl get covered in the sludge and they can't. Their wings are, they're damaged. They can't move.
I'm sure something happened that they borrowed from.
I'm sure in 1983 there's probably an Exxon oil spill or something like that. But Aquaman has to wash him off. He doesn't even use Dawn though, which was kind of weird. I thought you have to use Dawn to get. I'm kidding.
Maybe that's copyright.
That's off ducks, but anyway. But yeah, so he's cleaning their wings so they can fly again because they couldn't fly with the oil on them. And then they get swallowed by. Oh no, that's what happens. He takes Hawkman, Hawkgirl, swallows them, and they're in the oil. And so Aquaman has to go through the oil and uses telekinesis to kind of bounce around and find them within the oil, dark, murky oil. That's got to be disgusting. Why'd you? Ugh. What happened? And then they're
really stretching on this storyline.
Well, out of all that they're trying to do to get rid of him, they try to suck him up into a vat, but that's where more oil is, and so he just consumes that oil. It's like, why not just light him on fire? Wouldn't that just?
I don't think you could light things on fire when you were on cartoons back then.
Oh, you're right, because the old Fantastic Four replaced Human Torch with Herbie the Robot because you couldn't have because they were afraid kids were going to. Well. Now, hold on. They did have fire villains. Superman had to fight the fire villains one time, the fire aliens.
Well, I'm just saying, I think that you had to be real careful with that.
So lighting someone on fire was against the cartoon code? Was there a cartoon
it's against
code?
Every code.
Probably so.
Even in this unprecedented time we live in.
And then they start mixing episodes again from previous episodes. Bizarro comes back because someone in that back office loved them some Bizarro. And then they said, hey, remember Witch's Arcade? What if Bizarro did it? He put them in a Bizarro world where they have to get away from a pinball machine, from a Pac-Man,
Part of Bizarro and Solomon Grundy's appeal to me was their dialogue. They're always... I'm not going to try to do voices on this show.
Right.
Because I can barely keep it together as it is. But... that is the appeal of Solomon Grundy and Bizarro, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's basically it. But they love that they go to his world quite often, where the wheels are squares.
Yeah, everything's
the
backwards.
building, everything's backwards, and that.
You can't. That's a good storyline to go to.
No, it is. It's fun. As a kid, you buy into it, and there's a lot of Superman fans in that one too. This is also another one where it's called Playground of Doom, where these big giant space kids come, and Batman has we've never mentioned this. Batman has a space jet, a bat jet, that goes into space a lot, a bat rocket maybe, and so he and Robin are doing a tour around Earth's atmosphere or Earth's sector, and I was like, shouldn't Superman be doing this or Wonder Woman? Why are you guys can't do anything?
Around so fast. I mean, God.
7 minutes. We only have 7 minutes for an episode. We can't have the whole trip. Yeah.
That jet's quicker than a hiccup.
But I thought these guys wouldn't you put Green Lantern out on that? Isn't that Green Lantern's job to guard that sector of space? What is Batman and Robin? Is Green Lantern slacking on his job? But you get Batman and Robin. They come across these giant kids in space. They're space children, and they think the Batman Robin are a toy ship and they play with it a little bit, and then as they escape, Batman Robin escape, they follow them to Earth and start playing with all the play things on Earth, the buildings and the.
Which is probably a play on action figures somewhere.
Well, how it ends is, of course, the space parents come and say, "Naughty, naughty children, put everything back where you found it. Clean up your mess." And then, "We're sorry, Super Friends." And you're like, "How did you know about us? And what kind of parents are you to let your kids wander out into space and do whatever they want?"
They probably work 2 jobs.
And this is what happens when you watch Super Friends when you're older, folks. This is what happens. You start trying to rationalize every episode.
I'm gonna dig into this with my limited intellect.
Let me. Because I spent the 7 minutes 15 seconds to watch this episode, I'm gonna judge it for all its imperfections. That's what I'm gonna do. Because that way I can feel like I justified my time for watching this episode in the first place.
Welcome to the internet and social media. That's what it's made us.
In a nutshell, we're criticizing episodes of Super Friends that doesn't really matter in the long run.
People are listening.
Probably so. I don't know. We'll see. The average viewer is much more than that. But I will go into.
I'm not Bruce, so
I should say this is also the introduction of the new arch villain, Darkseid, who comes in a couple of times. Isn't this Darkseid? Let me make sure. Yeah,
I thought.
No, Darkseid's not in this one yet. He comes in the next season,
the next
so we'll get to
one
him.
One that's going to be superpowers.
Never mind. You're right. I'm wrong. So season 7 is the last season before Superpowers. You're right. Because then I'm looking at season 8 here, and it says the legendary Superpowers show.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're right. This is the one that introduces Darkseid. We'll go into season 8. This is the one that introduces Darkseid, which I loved as a kid. I remember loving Darkseid's gravelly voice and whatever. And I forgot he wanted to marry Wonder Woman.
Well, who
and
doesn't?
Heath.
Now.
Oh wait.
Well, yeah.
No, Heath would right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if I brought 60-year-old Linda Carter in here, what would happen? Or 70-year-old
3 times the trouble.
And by that he means Linda Carter's hair, because it's just so beautiful.
Right.
But it starts off the Bride of Darkseid, parts 1 and 2, because now they're going to a 15-minute, 13 minute, however long it is, 2 episodes per season. This is where the action pumps up and everything, but this is also where the toys come into play. Heavy. Well, Cyborg's not in this one. He's in season 9. I'm gonna get to season 9.
Jumping ahead, and you're jumping ahead.
No. It's fine. But they start off because they have to introduce the toys. Brainiac. Brainiac's now a droid.
Correct.
So we have a droid Brainiac. I remember a kid had that toy. That toy was huge, and I wanted it, but for some reason we never got it as kids. We never had that one. Maybe we never found it, but it was. Did you have this droid?
It wasn't that much bigger than the others.
Oh, was it? Oh, maybe just because
it broke. That was the kind of critical. If you look at them on eBay now, trying to find them, they're always
I think they were cheaply made.
Well, I mean, if you start squeezing on toys,
that's true.
You're gonna snap them.
But I thought the Brainiac was really cool. But it ties into the original series because he introduces it. Yeah, this is what I used to look like, and then I downloaded my intellect to my brain. I say, okay, continuity. I like this. They cared a little bit.
Somebody is letting the audience grow with their product.
And as you know, this is also where Lex Luthor has his green power suit for only 1 episode.
His Mardi Gras suit, it's green and purple.
Purple boots and everything. And I was like, wow, that's the only episode he's ever seen in the suit. It's like Kendra said, hey, make a toy with Lex Luthor wearing this. And they went, that looks ridiculous. We'll do 1 episode
with it. It's hard to believe that it was only 1 episode.
It was only 1 episode.
Are you sure about this?
Yes.
Okay.
I count. I said, I wonder how many times they're going to show that, because I never remembered him on any episodes wearing that. I remember when the toy came out, I was like, oh, when's he going to wear this? Because every time I saw him, he was in that purple, high collar 70s bad guys. And that's what they returned him in all the following episodes. Every time Lex Luthor came back, he was in his old Legion of Doom outfit. They did not want him in that power suit, which I thought was cool, though, because it didn't have kryptonite to stop Batman or kryptonite rays or something.
It had all kinds of different.
But in this one, all he does is fly into a museum, steal a painting, fly away, but This is El Dorado. Oh, El Dorado is another one we haven't talked about.
That's the Spanish guy.
He's the Spanish one, and I am El Dorado, and kind of like a superhero, Superman meets Zorro kind of guy. But he can disappear, he can transport. He throws his cape over his face and then transports to a different part somewhere. And then he's Lord of Illusions. Well, I guess no one realizes he's Lord of Illusions because he always fools everyone. When he shows them an illusion, they think it's real. I don't know, but he shows Lex Luthor that he's crashing into a stone wall. He's not escaping. It's a stone wall. He's like, what? Where'd that wall come from? And then, of course, he steers the opposite way and does crash into a stone wall and ruins his little suit, and he gets captured.
This sounds like an episode of Wile E. Coyote.
Well, Lex Luthor looks up and he goes, not again. And he opens up the little umbrella, and the boulder hits him.
And he holds up a sign that says, why?
Exactly. And then it's El Dorado goes, beep, meep. That's what happens. There it is. And it's weird that El Dorado would want to build a wall. Anyway, moving on. There's a lot of other things. You have Mr. Mixoplex and the Magic Lamp, because we got to do 3 Magic Lamp stories.
Moses with the lamps.
And we love the lamps, man. We love the lamps. This is also, and I messed this up because in the start of season 8, they introduced a new character called Firestorm. I loved Firestorm. He's in every episode. He's a young member of the Justice League now. He's 2 people, a student and a professor who were practicing in a lab, and then bam, some chemical reaction in it, and they formed a superhero. I love that. Oh, I should mention that Adam West is now the voice of Batman, starting in Season 8. Adam West takes over for Batman because the original voice of Batman went to be the professor in a Firestorm. So and since Firestorm's in every episode, he actually ends up having more speaking lines than Adam West does as Batman. And I'm wondering if that was part of the deal, like, hey, Adam West is here. Oh, F. Well, no. We're going to make you the professor. Oh, F. No. It's going to be a character where he's going to get a lot of screen time, and we promise we'll give you more words than Batman. Oh, I get more speaking words? Yes. Okay, I'll do it. It's almost like that was the deal that was made, because you've been Superman. I mean, you've been Batman for 7 seasons, and now here comes big time Adam West to get the name in there. And by the way, I never even knew Adam West voiced the character at all. And I did watch this season as a kid, and I just never noticed it. That was Adam West. But they brought in Adam West, and why not? You're drawing the series now 20 years later. And here's Adam West who wants to do the character, or 15 years later. Yeah, they let him do Batman, So for whatever reason, I couldn't read how they got him or what went on with that. But the voice of Batman said, we still want to use you, but we're going to give you more screen time because Batman's lines are limited. Maybe they only could afford Adam West for a day or, whatever. Maybe they only had him for a week.
I think that, like we said, they're introducing new characters. You got to grow that out. You don't need to just make Batman your core character. No,
that's true. Darkseid is continually in and out on this, trying to defeat the SuperFriends. He's unable to. His Omega beams, which are really cool, only Superman can withstand them, so he needs to find a way to get rid of Superman. One is the gold kryptonite. Gold kryptonite will strip away Superman's powers for good. So it's the most important mission the SuperFriends have ever been on, and they're going to outbid Darkseid at the auction for gold kryptonite. And Darkseid bids 1 whatever space credit, and no one dares outbid Darkseid. But the SuperFriends do. The SuperFriends, they're in disguise, and as they make up numbers, I can't remember who
is the Master of Illusion behind.
Who is with? Hold on. Firestorm is with me. He's like, guys, how are we going to pay? We don't have this much credit. Firestorm's ability is to he can reshape the molecules in any inanimate object into something else. And they said, well, we'll just let you reshape a bunch of things into credits. He went, oh yeah, I can do that.
Counterfeit.
Well, you guys,
Forgery.
So forgery. That's what they're asking him to do. Just forge it. And we gotta get this gold kryptonite. So they do, and they shoot out into space, and it never Or they give a fake gold kryptonite to Darkseid, who thinks that he uses on Superman, but finds that it has no ability. He's like, oh no, the gold kryptonite does not work. Haha, we switched the gold kryptonite, Darkseid. But they don't tell Darkseid that. So now Darkseid will never look for gold kryptonite again. And Batman and Superman's saved. Yeah, problem solved. Another day's done. Everyone high fives.
Everybody clock out.
That's it. Well, we have to stop where we have to have some joke and everyone's going, ha, 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 ha. Oh, I should mention, this is where... Is this where... No, they're still in here. This is the last season for the Wonder Twins. They're going to get kicked out of the last season. They don't make it all the way through, which I'm kind of shocked that the Wonder Twins made it this far. Because when it goes to superpowers, this is another thing. I don't remember the Wonder Twins being that big of it, but they're in... Shoot, from season 2 on... Yeah. They get the majority of the screen time there, so good for them. Good for them. The writers just love changing Zan into a bucket of water, a sheet of ice, a tidal wave, an ice gorilla. The only thing he was an ice monster one time, which was it's nice. It's like, how long do you want to keep him in here? I mean, I
have nothing to add to the Wonder Twins. I feel like we've Wonder Twinned ourselves.
We've Wonder Twinned it out. Okay, all right. Moving on then. Season 9 is the last season. And I never watched it. I've never seen any of these episodes. I was watching this, and I almost told you, I was like, I'm going to wait till we get to the podcast. I've never watched season 9. That's how I never knew Cyborg was in it. You told me Cyborg was in it. I was like, yeah, I don't remember him being in it. I never saw it for whatever reason. It never played in my area. Well, but this is one where the artwork gets an update.
Yeah, this is... Yeah,
like Wonder Woman finally has 1985 hair instead of 1973 hair.
Yeah, the reason I watched this finally was when the DC channel was on 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And when I got it, I was like, I'm going to start SuperFriends from the back. So I watched this season first and then...
Oh, you should have stopped at this season.
Well...
season 8 and 9.
Yeah,
it
was interesting to watch it that way, just because you can see how this season, new artwork, somebody finally, and I don't know if this had anything to do with Marvel being animated by then, and really with Spider-Man and Hulk and all that stuff, if maybe that's why they've said we're going to double down on some real art on this. But It was drastically different. It did not have that Scooby-Doo art to it.
Right. No, it doesn't. Everyone's more muscular.
Sure.
Everyone's gotten an upgrade. Adam West is still the voice of Batman, and he gets much more screen time now. Like I said, Wonder Woman looks much better. She's gotten an update. Everyone's gotten an update here. And you're right, Cyborg gets a lot of screen time. He is the new... Firestorm's still there, but Cyborg is in every episode, sometimes teaming up with Firestorm to solve the mystery and riddle. But the thing is, though, that it never played in my area. So I never, because I kept watching these looking for something, because even Darkseid is revamped. He looks a lot better too.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say I've seen it, but every episode, like the season before, I could point out episodes I remembered over and over again. And but this one, I never saw a single one. So it was kind of all seeing it new, and I love the new artwork over it. Villains even get upgrades too, because Bizarro's back in it again. He makes this old Bizarro Justice League, the Firestorm, whatever,
which always works.
And then you have things like the Joker's in an episode.
No, the Joker had a toy.
Wow, yeah, I forgot about that. Penguin's in an episode.
Penguin's got a toy.
Yeah, I was like, shut up. And see, I remember they had toys, and I remember I collected them because I knew who Penguin and Joker was, but I never thought they were in the cartoon. I just thought they were just extra, let's keep making toys.
Yeah.
But no, they each got their own little toy, and of course, this is also the reason. Now, Desaad and, what was his son's name? Darkseid's son's name? I can't remember. But anyway, they already had toys, but this is where the little red space demons, I remember that was a toy because my brother got that one, and the Justice League spaceship pods and stuff were making in, because they were definitely trying to...
Superman had a ship.
The hall, yes, oh my goodness, with the little arms punching the... It's great stuff. I remember my brother...
hold the kryptonite.
Right. Because he has to go get blue kryptonite to defeat Bizarro in an episode, but he can't touch it because it has a weird effect on him, but it has a weakening effect on Bizarro. I remember the Superman spaceship. My brother had it, and you press the button, and the little rammer. There was a rammer in the front that would just come out,
The
not the
Batmobile
hands.
had a rammer also.
The Batmobile did have one, and I got that one. I loved that Batmobile toy. I
That's a
loved
good
it.
toy.
That was a good toy. But we had that, the Superman.
It had bat signal rims.
Oh, yes, it did. Oh, no, the headlights would pop up too, remember?
Yeah, it was like
it had a
flare.
lot of little gadgets. And there's something, there was a claw in the back
Sure.
that would trap someone. That was the weakest one. But it was cool because it had several different functions it could do. They took their time on the Batmobile.
Yeah.
But with everything else, my brother got the Justice League flyer. That's what he got. But the Justice League itself is different in this one. It's a different look and everything. I was like, whoa, the Hall of Justice, I mean.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow. It's like, I remember none of this, so I don't think I saw any of this.
I think it's tied to that toy line because they had a Hall of Justice
Oh, it had-
carrying case and all that kind
Well,
of
no,
stuff.
it's the old Hall of Justice carrying case.
Yeah.
Now that in this cartoon they have a new one. Maybe they were thinking about revamping the old carrying case. By the way, I had that. The carrying case was also a playset. A carrying case on one side, a playset on the other. I absolutely loved it. We got it.
The old days of 80s play sets with action figures.
It had a trap door. You know, you'd always want to put someone at the trap door and
Sure.
fall. And then it had a jail cell. And then it had little places where they could sit down, but it didn't.
Play cards.
Yeah, play cards because that's what they do. Or sit down or it had little computer stickers you'd stick on there so they could be at the
Fiddle around
monitor. And,
lamps.
yeah, hit the trouble alert. Whatever. But then they did one, and you had told me about this one. I had no idea they made this. The Death of Superman is actually an episode,
Yeah.
second to the last episode,
Yeah, it's good.
where this is back in 1985, folks, and they're wearing the bands on there just like they did in the comic book that came out in 93. When did
think
Superman
it's-
die? Was it early 90s or was it mid
Maybe
90s?
Maybe it was 93. I can't remember.
I think it was around 93. So this is 8 years prior. Let's say 7 or 8 years
It's
prior.
definitely way prior.
Yeah, but the idea of the
I thought that
bands,
they borrowed a lot from that.
they did because all the people are sad because Superman is dead because of kryptonite. It wasn't doomsday; it was kryptonite poisoning, and he's all green skinned now, like Kermit. And like Kermit says, it's not easy being green. So there's a whole episode, but then we find out he's just like in Princess Bride. He's only half dead. You know, he went into a Kryptonian trance, and there's still time to save him by the kryptonite poisoning cure. I can't remember, but Batman gets it. Anyway, but what a strong episode, right?
Yeah, man.
So I really enjoyed those episodes, but I don't remember anything about them.
You probably enjoy them more now because you're watching them as an adult.
Well, yeah, but it's
And you never saw them.
that's true. I never saw it, and the artwork is improved, and they have more villains.
It's just a better superhero cartoon.
Yeah, it is. It is, and that's probably the best season out of the whole bunch. Would you say?
I would definitely say if you can watch these backwards, do it. Because once you don't want to watch
I don't know if you watch the first few seasons, you get the worst ones out, and then it gets
I think
better.
you may just want to give up.
I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest you read through these. I mean, watch through these probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, just listen to this, laugh, had fun. You know,
Rub for 3 times.
I was gonna hope you were gonna say that and watch Apache Chief cry. That's about all we got there. That's about all you got out of it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed this. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me again.
Maybe next time we'll have Heath.
We'll have a run in.
Yeah, we'll do that. All right, folks. We'll see you next time on Princes of the Universe.